Is being recorded.
In ELA today, we're going to start by focusing our attention by thinking about a question. What is climate? See if you can answer that question while you listen.
At this very moment, all around the world, people are experiencing all kinds of weather. People are also experiencing climate, which is related to the weather, but there's an important difference. That difference is really just a matter of time. Weather happens day to day, even hour to hour, and is still pretty unpredictable. Climate happens over longer periods of time, 30 years and longer, and is usually predictable. In a nutshell, climate can be described as the average weather over time. Here's how climate works. When energy from the sun interacts with the atmosphere, oceans, land, ice, clouds, and living things on Earth, it creates the climate. These interactions are complex, and they don't happen the same way all over the planet. That's why different parts of the Earth have different climates. For example, many parts of Utah have warm, dry summers and cold, mostly sunny winters with a few big snowstorms. Meanwhile, a place like Thailand is hot and humid year-round, with periods of heavy rain called monsoons.
All right, we're going to watch this video one more time. And I want you thinking about that word climate. What is climate and how is it different from weather? What is climate? How is it different from weather? Listening and be ready to share out.
This very moment, all around the world, people are experiencing all kinds of weather. People are also experiencing climate, which is related to the weather, but there's an important difference. That difference is really just a matter of time. Weather happens day to day, even hour to hour, and is still pretty unpredictable. Climate happens over longer periods of time, 30 years and longer, and is usually predictable. In a nutshell, climate can be described as the average weather over time. Here's how climate works. When energy from the sun interacts with the atmosphere, oceans, land, ice, clouds, and living things on Earth, it creates the climate. These interactions are complex, and they don't happen the same way all over the planet. That's why different parts of the Earth have different climates. For example, many parts of Utah have warm, dry summers and cold, mostly sunny winters with a few big snowstorms. Meanwhile, a place like Thailand is hot and humid year-round, with periods of heavy rain called monsoons.
All right, so I'm looking for a few third graders, either in person or on Zoom, who can share out what is climate. How is it different from weather? I already see some hands on Zoom. Honesty, go ahead.
I think it's temperature.
Say it again.
I think it's temperature.
So like temperature, okay. Any other friends on Zoom want to share out what is climate? How's it different from weather? Ashley, go ahead.
Climate is like temperature, but it's basically that it could happen year around.
Okay, thanks for sharing your thoughts, Ashley. All right, friends in person, what is climate? How's it different from weather? Nick. Okay, Gloria. It's with time, right? It showed that clock. Angela.
I think the more sun goes to the oceans and living things.
The sun helps with climate, right? Kellen.
Climate is a weather.
It's sort of like weather, right? So in the video, it talked about how weather happens every day. Here in Indiana, it might be sunny on Monday, and then on Tuesday, it might be rainy. And that's okay. But climate describes what the weather is like over a period of time. We know that in Indiana, we have 4 seasons. We have spring, we have summer, we have fall or autumn, and we have winter. Some places in the world are not like that. It talked about a place called Thailand where it is warm and humid all year. That's different than here. The climate in Thailand is very warm and it's very rainy, it's humid, but not here, right? Right now we know it's very cold. Our weather is very cold. So the climate in Thailand is different than the climate here in Indiana. We're going to explore different regions, different areas, and their climate. Today, we're going to be starting with the text that describes what is climate. We're going to be looking at some text features. Let's go ahead and find our Seesaw task together. We need to get it open. Please click on Activities, Assign to Class folder, and Red ELA. Our task today is called Using Text Features. Using text features. Go ahead and find that task, please, in our red ELA folder. We're going to open that up together. Kaylee, put your mask on, please. Has to be on at school. Okay, on slide number 1, we have some success criteria. It says today we are going to apply our knowledge of text features to locate information and gain meaning from a text. Then it gives some examples like maps, illustrations, charts, font, and format. So what are text features? I'm glad you're asking. You should know all about text features from 1st and 2nd grade, but we can review with a quick video to get our brains thinking about what are text features and how do they help us as readers. So we're going to start with a video from Vocabulary that will remind us what are text features that we have learned about in 1st or 2nd grade.
Leo here just found out he has to do a report on sloths. He checks out a non-fiction book. The title is All About Sloths. This is a little bit different from the fiction books that he's been reading. It's got all these text features. Those are the things that draw his eye to important information and help him understand all the interesting facts. Leo's gonna use those text features to find his way around the text. Yo, Leo opens the book. It looks like nonsense till he looks in the front for the table of contents. It's nothing like the table in his kitchen. It lists big topics with a short description. Leo sees chapter 2 is called Sloth Habitats. Starts on page 15. He flips to that at the top of the page. Just as expected, it says Sloth Habitats in very big letters. That's called a heading. It helps him figure out what this section of the book is all about. There are subheadings too. The chapter's divided by smaller headings like trees and climate. Leo sees a picture that makes him laugh. A sloth hanging from a branch, that's a photograph. It was taken with a camera, put in the book to show us how a sloth really looks. Underneath the photo, there's a quick description. That's a caption. It tells you what's in the picture. Leo starts to wonder, what's a sloth diet? There's a text feature that'll help him find it. It's called the index. All topics of importance are listed in the back in ABC order. Leo spots diet, that was easy to find. It's on pages 7 through 9.
Feeling lost in the book that's non-fiction? Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts. Feeling lost in the book that's non-fiction? Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts.
Leo keeps reading. It's making him think. He sees that some species of sloths are extinct. Extinct is bold. What's up with that word? Scroll because it's something new to learn. It could be italicized or underlined. Want to know what it means? It's easy to find. In the back of the book, there's something called a glossary, where new words are defined properly. It's an ABC order. Leo looks through the list. He sees extinct means it no longer exists. Now he's flipping through the pages. Hang on, man. He spots a cool image called a diagram. That's a picture that shows different parts of something. So Leo knows how it works, how it functions. There are labels that point out different parts, like stomach, lungs, and his loving heart. This table compares sloths to giraffes. We can also compare with a chart or a graph. These are visual ways of organizing data. So long, sloth. We'll see you later. Peace out. I said we'll see you later. Ugh, I forgot how slow these guys are.
Feeling lost in a book that's non-fiction? Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts. Feeling lost in a book that's non-fiction? Text features will point you in the right direction. The captain has a compass, a pilot has a map. You can use text features to find facts.
Awesome. So in the video, we heard a review of some text features. And here on slide number 1, it shows examples of lots of text features. So who can see or share out what's an example of a text feature that you know about? Here are some hints here, or maybe something you remember from 2nd grade. What is a text feature you know about? Angela, what's one?
I know this. Special print.
Special print. So in the video, it talked about bold words or italicized words or underlined words, right? That's a text feature that helps the reader. Nick, what do you know about?
It tells you a lot
What tells you a lot?
about what you're looking for.
Can you give an example of a text feature that helps you?
And that
An index. What does the index do, Nick?
tells you what page it is on.
So when Leo was doing his book report, I think he wanted to know what they eat or something like that. So he went to the index and he looked up, okay, what do sloths eat? And it told him, like Nick is saying, it told him what page to go to so he could find that information. Gloria, what's a text feature you know about?
The glossary.
What does the glossary do, Gloria? Yes, awesome. Any other examples of text features that you know about from 1st or 2nd grade that you like to use? Honesty, go ahead.
Caption.
What does a caption do, Honesty? How does it help you?
So it like tell you like what do it mean and stuff.
Right, a caption normally is next to a photo and will tell you what's going on in the picture or the photo. Thanks, Honesty, for sharing. Okay, we're gonna look at slide 2 together. Everybody click on slide 2. This is where we're going to start our work today. Slide 2 shows an example of a text, and it shows you some text features. I want you to get your highlight tool ready. Let's do this part together. We're going to highlight some text features that Mrs. Thaxton is pointing out to you. So, right here is one called the table of contents. It's pointing to this right here. The table of contents is an example of a text feature. What else do we see on this text page? Another text feature. Day. I see the glossary. I'm going to highlight glossary. You're highlighting with me. We see the table of contents. We see the glossary. What else is on this example page? Alicia. The title. The title is one we've been learning since what? Kindergarten? Titles are text features that help the reader. What else? Who can find one? Look at our example page. Angela.
Photographs.
Photographs. I'm going to highlight photographs, so you are highlighting with me. There's a couple more text features pointed out. Theo. Bold words. We saw an example of that in Leo's book about sloths. If they make a word bold, they're trying to teach you something, right? Gloria, what's the last example? Can you see it? Captions. Yeah, and that's what Honesty was describing. A caption shows us what's going on in a picture. Okay, I hope that you have highlighted our examples of text features just like I have. What we're going to do next is we are going to go to a Jamboard. A Jamboard is a place where we can all share our ideas. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to talk about how these text features help the reader. So remember in the vocabulary, they talked about a pilot has a map, so he knows where he's going. Readers have text features, so we know where we're going in the book. Text features are supposed to help us. So I'm going to send the Jamboard link to you. Once we all have it open, we'll remind ourselves, what are we going to do on the Jamboard? I want you thinking about how these help us when we are reading, okay? Start thinking right now, how do they help the reader when we use them? Slide number 3, we do not have time for today. If you want to do slide number 3, you may. That's optional. You do not have to do slide number 3. Your task today begins on slide number 4. Slide number 4. Your job is to read this text about climate. Our question says, what causes different climates? Today you're going to read the text to yourself. And then on page number 5, you have a short little text with a text feature called a map. And I want you to answer this question. So your task today for independent work time is to read page number 4, read page number 5, and answer the question on page number 5. Okay? Thinking about climate, what is it? How is it different from weather? That's what our job is today. Friends on Zoom, I'm going to end our Zoom lesson. Don't forget that today, some of you will be joining a different teacher for your math lesson. Let's go ahead and look at that quickly before we go.